Hello everyone, welcome to another video on the channel and to another weekly watches video. Quite a few to get through this week. How many have I done? I shall count. I've done 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 this week. So quite a bit to watch, to talk about, and I think for a change, I'm just looking through, all of them were ones that I enjoyed. There weren't any that I'll be getting rid of. There were ones that I either thought were pretty good or really enjoyed, but I'll get through those now. So it might be a bit of a longer one, but yeah, go and grab a cup of coffee coffee to keep you going. Yeah, we'll crack on with the first one, and the first one is Zulu, which was chosen by Stuart 2 weeks ago in the watch pile. So I put it on last Sunday evening, I believe. I briefly talked about this in my live stream. I thought it was really good. Great seeing Michael Caine in probably, I think it was his first performance. Stanley Baker was great in this one as well. Narrated by Richard Burton, the opening and the ending. All about the Battle of Rorke's Drift in 1879, about these British soldiers, 100 of them, that are basically against 4,000 Zulu warriors. And yeah, really good. Really, if you like your war films, this is a great one. Michael Caine's excellent, as I said, so is Stanley Baker. Just really cool seeing the way that they did, because obviously it's very historical as well. So yeah, really enjoyed this one, Zulu. And I think there's a sequel called Zulu Dawn, which is about the battle that happened before this one. But don't know if that's any good. Let me know what you think down below. Next up, my first Ben Wheatley film of the week, and that was Sightseers. Everybody had been telling me how great this is. It's a black comedy about a couple that go caravanning across the UK, but the man harbours a dark secret, I shall say. I won't say what it is. I'd say go in blind, watch it based on that. As I said, Ben Wheatley, who's great director. Free Fire was the only other, and the Meg 2, which was crap. But Free Fire, excellent. Need to get that one in the collection, and I've watched another one this week since. But yeah, Alice Lowe, Steve Oram, lots of other British actors that pop up quickly, that you'll probably know just from their face, because they've been in a lot of British stuff. But yeah, very funny, quite dark as well, quite bloody as well, gory. But yeah, one that I thoroughly enjoyed. Next up, the film that I watched for my watch pile episode last week, and one that, if you've seen my video, I'm not going to go over it too much again. Thoroughly enjoyed this one, and that was Somewhere, which is a Sofia Coppola film starring Stephen Dorff and Elle Fanning, about an actor. Basically his life, I'd say he's a bit of a loser, but he's a pretty big get my words out, sorry. He's a pretty big actor, and his daughter's basically dropped on his doorstep, so his lifestyle kind of changes a bit. He's got to look after his daughter whilst also working, and yeah, it's more of a character film, which is what Sofia Coppola really does from the films that I've seen by her. She really looks in the characters and their lives. Not a huge story, there's not like a clear beginning, middle and end. It is just part of these characters' lives, just a snippet of their lives, and I thought it was brilliantly acted. She really knows how to write her actors really well. And yeah, thoroughly enjoyed this one I'll definitely be watching again, and I now need to try and find her other films that I've not seen. I believe it's just Lost in Translation, Marie Antoinette, and The Beguiled, which I'm not too faffed about because I want to see the original with Clint Eastwood, and I've heard the remakes pants. So yeah, that's Somewhere. Next up, I had a Stephen King double bill on Wednesday, starting off with Cat's Eye, which was chosen by Tim last week. Really enjoyed this one as well. Love these like sorts of anthology stories. I really want to try and get into the Twilight Zone, because I know that's basically what that is. And I really want to watch the Creepshow films, because I've heard they're really good. And there's the one Tales from the Crypt, I think, is another one. All ones that I'd be interested in checking out. But this one, 3 stories, all centered around this cat. It starts opening with the cat in, I don't know what the, begins with an M, I think, but I can't remember what the name of the town is called. but you get some of Stephen King's other characters briefly pop up at the start. You got Cujo. I'm pretty sure that's supposed to be Cujo. Definitely Christine, because it's got the sticker on the back and it's a Plymouth. So that's just like a kind of, nod to his other works. But yeah, like I said, there's 3 stories. The first story centers around James Woods' character, who's trying to give up smoking, and he goes to extreme lengths to try and do it, and goes to this company who take extreme measures to stop him from smoking. That's all I'll say about that. Second one's called The Ledge, which is about a character played by Kenneth McMillan, who owns a casino, and he kidnaps this man played by Robert Hades and basically gives him a deal. Basically says if he goes, because he's been having an affair with his wife, this is all from the back, basically says if he can traverse the whole of the exterior of his building's ledge without dying, then he can leave and no harm will come to him. But then if he refuses, obviously bad things will happen. So I really enjoyed that one. I think the first 2 are the ones I liked the best, and then you could probably guess I didn't like the third one that much because it was Drew Barrymore, and she did get on. I know she was just a kid, but she's just really whiny and annoying in that story. It just wasn't that interesting. It's about a little troll who's basically trying to kill Drew Barrymore's character, I suppose, steal her soul or something like that. And the cat's the only one that is trying to defend it, but the parents think it's the cat that's doing all these horrible things. And yeah, I wasn't a big fan of the third one, but the first 2, solid ones. And for that reason, I will keep it to watch again. Cat's Eye. Then followed that up by one that, again, people have just been telling me on and on and on to watch, and I finally sat down and watched it on Wednesday, and that's 1979's Tobe Hooper's Salem's Lot, starring David Soul, James Mason, Bonnie Bedelia, who you may know from Die Hard. She played Lucy McLean, John McClane's wife. The only other person that face I knew was Fred Ward, who I personally know from Modern Family. He played Frank, the dad, the old dad, the dad of the main character. And yeah, I think he's in a lot of Christopher Guest films. I'm sure he was in Waiting for Guffman as well. But yeah, anyway, talking about Salem's Lot. Fantastic vampire film. If you've not seen it, it's about a writer played by David Soul, who goes back to a town that he is from, and he has to he's writing a book about this really old, mysterious house on the top of a hill, which is owned by like this British antiques dealer played by James Mason, who's a bit suspicious, and he's supposedly got a partner that's coming to stay with him, and you never really see him. And yeah, that's all I'll say. It's a great vampire film. It's very long, 3 hours, but well worth the time. Thoroughly enjoyed it. I think there's been 2 remakes of this. I think there was a 2003 television remake with Rob Lowe, which isn't supposed to be very good, and then there was the last year's remake, which I believe starred Lewis Pullman as why is my blanking on his name? Ben Mears. Blanked on the character's name then. So yeah, I might watch that one. I know it's not going to be as good as this one, but I'd rather watch that than the Rob Lowe one, because I know the Rob Lowe one's probably not going to appeal to me as much as the newer one, because I've seen the trailer and it kind of does look a bit creepy. But yeah, really glad to have that one now to watch again. Then next up, I watched 127 Hours, a Danny Boyle film that I haven't seen yet. I'll give a quick spoiler. I have ordered another Danny Boyle film, which is due at some point in the next week. I think I did a pickups video on Monday. I may still save it until the following Monday, or it may come another day next week, because I've ordered quite a bit. I think I've got about 7 things on the way. I think one of them a DVD, and I'm meeting up with fellow YouTuber Tim Cole tomorrow, Monday. We're going to go around some of the charity shops, so might find some stuff there as well. So I don't know, I might do one tomorrow, I might not, depends on the time and everything. But yeah, 127 Hours, Danny Boyle, about Aaron Ralston, rock climber, who got stuck between his hand got stuck in a boulder when he was climbing in 2003, and it's about his story at 127 hours until he got free. I mean, that's not a spoiler, because that's what the title is about. That's how long he had. and it's just about how he survives, what he does, what he goes through, and really good. James Franco's really good in it, and yeah, one that I definitely watch again. Thoroughly enjoyed it. Quite hard to watch at times just because of the nature, and it's quite bloody, but yeah, really good Danny Boyle film, that one. 127 hours. Just drink a coffee. And next up, the second and last Ben Wheatley film of the week. I don't think I've got any others yet. As I said, I'd like to get Free Fire back in the collection. I'd love to get Kill List as well. That's about it, I think, because I think the other ones, his first film you can't get on Blu-ray. I think there's one that he did about 2013, but I think that's hard to come by on Blu-ray now. Then there's this one, there's Free Fire. Then he did The Meg 2, which I'm not bothering with, and In the Earth, I think, was another one, which I've heard isn't too good either, so I think I'll just stick with the two that I need to get. But anyway, I watched High Rise with Tom Hiddleston. You got Jeremy Irons, Sienna Miller, Luke Evans, Elizabeth Moss, and a lot of other well-known British actors. Keely Hawes, James Purefoy. Yeah, a lot of good British character actors. And again, lots of faces that were in Sightseers pop up in this. I'm not going to say who, because I'll say the littering man from Sightseers. You'll know who I mean at the start. He's in this. He plays the janitor in this one. And the main character in Sightseers' mother, she plays a cleaner in this one. And funnily enough, I don't think she's been in many films, but I've seen 3 films that she's been in this week, because another one coming up, she was in very briefly at the start. But High Rise, all about this high-rise flats in the 70s, a new project designed by the architect played by Jeremy Irons. All the rich people live on the top half of the building and get all the luxury stuff like swimming pools, all sorts of stuff, tennis courts. There's a supermarket. You basically don't have to leave the building. And then the bottom half is with the poorer people. And it's kind of, they clash and things start to happen, is all I'll say. Really good. If you like Ben Wheatley films, very much same sort of tone. Very much a black comedy with thriller elements to it. Quite funny in places, but also quite dark. Tom Hiddleston's excellent, as is the rest of the supporting cast. And yet, thoroughly enjoyed that one. Well worth the watch. And then a bit of a backstory to this next one. It is a dive back into the Universal Monsters set, and I watched Frankenstein from 1931. And the reason I watched that is because yesterday, Saturday, I went with my mum to Bath to the House of Frankenstein Museum. So I thought I'd watch the film before we went there. I'll tell you a bit about that once I've talked about the film. So Frankenstein, 1931, Boris Karloff as the monster. Really great monster film. I've not seen any other. Oh, well, I saw the James McAvoy one that wasn't very good with Daniel Radcliffe in, but this was just great. Considering its age, just really tense, really quite scary in places. Boris Karloff's just such a presence as Frankenstein. Great music in this as well, over the background, like the score, I should say. Yeah, really great one. I can't wait to delve into the rest of these. I think I've got Bride of Frankenstein coming up at some point as well. So yeah, might dive into more of these next week. But yeah, the House of Frankenstein Museum, really good. All about Mary Shelley and how she came to write the book Frankenstein, and the designs, and how it then became big in popular culture. It went to theatre, then it had obviously all of the movie adaptations. If I can work out how to edit this and put pictures up, I will put some pictures up. There's some really creepy pictures. There's an animatronic of Frankenstein's monster, huge, and his chest moved, quite intimidating, quite frightening actually. But like I said, I'll try and get that put up if I can work out how to. I'm not very good with editing and techie stuff, but I'll try and put them up. But yeah, Frankenstein, glad to have watched that one. 3 to go. Next up we have Mr. Holmes with Sir Ian McKellen, Laura Linney, and Hiroyuki Sanada. And this is the one that I said had the elderly woman that was in High Rise and Sightseers, only very briefly at the start at a train station, but I was like, oh, 3rd time this week, weird. But yeah, this is basically centered around Sherlock Holmes. He's aging. It's 1947, so just after the war. He's retired to the coast. I think it's Devon or Cornwall from the accent of his housekeeper. And it's basically him looking back. He's struggling with his mind. His mind's not what it used to be, and he's looking back on his last case and what happened and what went wrong, that sort of thing. And he's also intercepting with his visit to Japan, meeting a friend that's written to him, played by Hiroyuki Sanada, who's a great actor. And yeah, Ian McKellen's fantastic at Sherlock Holmes. It's another great Sherlock Holmes story. Not your typical, because there's no Mycroft in this. Well, very briefly towards the end, played by the brilliant Welsh actor, I should say, John Sessions, but very briefly. There's no Watson in this at all. No Mrs. Hudson. Nothing like that, because they've all basically gone. And this is him. He's the last one left to looking back on his life, basically, on his last case. Really good performance from Ian McKellen. If you've not seen this one, highly recommend checking this out. I got it for £1 in CX, so pretty easily available. So yeah, really happy that I watched that one, Mr. Holmes. And then I followed that one up with Arrow Video's, well, put out by Arrow, it's not Arrow Video's film, but Runaway Train, which is a Andrei Konchalovsky film starring Jon Voight, Eric Roberts and Rebecca De Mornay. As the title suggests, about runaway train. About 2 escaped convicts that board a train, becomes a runaway train, and they've got to try and stop the train. You've got the warden of the prison trying to track them down as well. You've got the people in the train system trying to stop them because it's going to crash. They did sort of remake this with Unstoppable with Denzel Washington and Chris Pine, basically the same sort of thing. But this apparently was based on a script by Akira Kurosawa. So yeah. And it says, hard-boiled prison slang was added by real-life ex-con Edward Bunker, who played Mr. Blue in Reservoir Dogs. And both Jon Voight and Eric Roberts earned Oscar nominations for this. And yeah, really fun film, really good film. If you like these sorts of films, kind of switch your mind off and just enjoy it, then I would highly recommend this one. Very fun film, Runaway Train. Have a swig. And the last film this week, which I'm going to say, yeah, is my highlight of the week. I watched this one last night, thoroughly engrossed in it. It would be between this one, Somewhere, and 127 Hours, I would say, for my highlights of the week. But I think it's going to go to this one this week, and that is Dustin Hoffman in Straight Time. Whoa, what a film. This is a fantastic film if you've not seen it. I'm not going to go too much into it because I don't want to spoil too much. Dustin Hoffman plays a con that's released from prison at the start. He has to, first of all, present himself to his parole officer, played by the excellent Emmett Walsh, who's always great. It's a very sleazy character in this, though. And you basically got to find somewhere to live, get a job, and go straight, basically. Along the way, he meets up with his old friend. I'm assuming they knew each other before prison, but I think they were also in prison together. He's played by Gary Busey, and also has a small early performance from Kathy Bates, who played Gary Busey's character's wife, who disapproves of their friendship completely because he doesn't want him to drag him back down. But in turn, something else happens with Gary Busey's character that sets Dustin Hoffman off on something. I won't go any further in that. He meets, goes to an employment agency where he meets Teresa Russell's character, and they fall in love. And it's basically about him trying to go straight after being released from prison. I'm not going to say what happens, because I would say about halfway through it definitely changes pace, changes tone. But it's excellent. Harry Dean Stanton gives a fantastic performance in this as well. Like I said, you've got performances from Emmett Walsh. Kathy Bates has a really early performance in this one as well. And Teresa Russell's excellent. Very easy on the eye as well. I think she was about my age when she did this. 22, 23, I think I read somewhere. But yeah, fantastic in this. But Dustin Hoffman stole the show in this and thoroughly enjoyed it. One of my favourites of his. And I will definitely be going back to this one again. So, good film to end the week with. Straight Time. So that is all 11 films that I watched over the last week. Briefly tell you the kind of plans of what I'm going to watch the next week. I mean, I don't always go to plan, but always have it in my head. I will watch Rebel Without a Cause this afternoon, Roy, because I know you chose that one last week and I've still not watched it. So I am determined to give that a watch this afternoon. Then tonight I'm going to watch that new one on Netflix, The Electric State, the Russo brothers film, so nothing physical tonight, but I'll still get one in today. And then tomorrow I'm thinking maybe, you can let me know in the comments, because obviously this will go up today. I'm thinking either Papillon or A Bridge Too Far. Obviously we've also got the live stream tomorrow, so might not be able to fit them in, we'll have to see. But I'd like to watch both of those, so let me know which one you think I should watch first. I've got 2001 I've still got to watch, Gorgo, which Stuart recommended to me, Life is Beautiful I think Stuart's recommended, Hello Dolly's a Stuart recommendation. I want to go through the Police Academy films because Roy's talked about them recently. The Last Starfighter I still need to check out, still not got around to that one yet. Videodrome, Tim's mentioned, is a great Cronenberg film, so I've got to watch that. Those are all the ones that I pulled out to like prioritise. Amityville Horror as well was talked about a few weeks ago on the live stream. So all of those, don't think I'll get them all watched in the next week or so, but I'll see how many I can get done. And then we've obviously got the watch pile on Tuesday. I'll be recording that, and so far we've got 5 that have been selected. So that will probably take me a while as well, because I'll try and get through all of them by next Sunday. So yeah, got plenty to get watching this week. Let me know if you've got any recommendations of the ones that I've just said that I want to watch, and I can prioritise them. But that is it for this video. If you liked it, make sure to give it a thumbs up. Subscribe if you want to see more videos like this. Turn your notification bell on so you know when I have a new video uploaded to the channel. Comment down below anything and everything. As you know, I always take the time to get back to anyone that leaves me a comment, because I really do appreciate it. And that is it. So until next time, everyone, take care. Goodbye.